Welcome back to Legends Unleashed. Today we're going to talk about hot takes. Everybody's got a hot take about the season, whether it's good, bad. The point of a hot take is not supposed to be driven towards being accurate. It's supposed to be wild, fun, and exciting for all fans.
Yeah,
And there's nothing wrong with that. If you're bold with what you want to think, hey, go ahead. We might have some we disagree with. Now, disclaimer, if we disagree with one another, it's not we're hating each other. It's called you're being a passionate sports fan.
that's right.
If we're all this uh, same fans of the same teams or some of the same takes. I mean, that's boring. You got to be a little different in what you believe in.
Yeah, that's a
And
good.
I believe in what I do, and he believes what he does in his hot takes. So we're gonna do five each, just and really counter each other and see how it goes.
Yeah,
So we'll let Nick start with his first one, and we'll talk about it a little bit. If it's not too wacky, we're not going to get into it. And I apologize for that in advance, but it's just there's no reason to. But if there's something we're like, whoa, we need to discuss it. We'll discuss it. We're not going to scream on top of our lungs, but so if you're looking for that, not the channel. We might get into it, but go ahead. We'll start with you for number one.
and also if let me before I start, if you have any top takes, please leave it down below.
Oh yeah, just let us know. We would love to hear them because it's hard thinking of some, and then if we hear from you in the comments, like, whoa, we like that. We want to discuss it on our own and say, yeah, this person said this, and it'd be cool to hear that. So
Yeah.
okay, you can start with your first one and go.
So my first hot take of the season, I think the Falcons will win the NFC South. I think they just traded for Matthew Judon, uh, and I think that the team's gonna be loaded. They already have Jesse Bates. They have Kirk Cousins now. They drafted, even though I still think the Michael Penix pick was awful, but I think I think they're gonna be loaded this year, and they have loaded weapons, a new coach. I think. See now, here the news past, with Kyle Pitts, I think he's been underutilized like crazy in Atlanta. But now he has a new coach, new system, new quarterback. I think he's going to have a breakout year. I think the Falcons will win the NFC South.
And then just on Justin Simmons. Now, we're also, by the way, before we get going more, we're gonna give it on a scale of 1 to 5 how we feel about it. Five being that is a wild hot take, and one being not so much. It's very mild. So I give that a three. Um, and we'll get into our standards in another video, so we'll give more feedback. I do like what they did, and adding Justin Simmons they just did on a 1 year deal. I mean, I like that take. I give it a three. I mean, I think Kirk Cousins coming back from an injury is going to hurt him a little bit, but I think with a new head coach, I think they'll be really fun to watch and see how they go. And I think the pass rush just got to get a little bit better. I thought they should have went pass rush, but I really like what they did in the NFL draft. They got some good players, and I think despite Penix's age, he's still going to be good. So I'm not too worried about that. So I give it a 3 out of 5. I like it, but I think there's they lack a little bit, but they're right there. They're on the cusp of being NFC South champs for a stretch of time.
It also helps that they're in a very weak division too.
Oh gosh, I
The
mean,
Panthers, I don't see it. No offense to you Panthers fans, but I think your team's awful. I think
they got a good young coach, and they addressed a couple needs,
yeah,
the inner line, and they really got trained up. But the- it's tough what position they're in. They got a young quarterback who, stay tuned for that.
yeah,
So, but I like it. It's a 3 out of 5. So, and I'll go with my first one. Now, you might think I'm biased, but I'm gonna go with it. And this guy's been on the Cubs for years. Every year he's been getting better, I think. Max Crosby will win Defense Player of the Year. And here's why I say that. Everybody looks at, oh, let's look at sacks or let's look at what team they play for. The Raiders are not the best team in the AFC. That's just not, that's a given.
yeah,
But every year he's getting more pressures. He's getting great grades from PFF. And now PFF is not everything, but when you look at he's consistently getting better. And every, you look at all the teams who play against the Raiders, they say that man is the problem in that defense.
right.
I mean, that man creates that problem constantly.
Yeah,
So I say Max Crosby is going to continuously get better. And I think, how can you not say he could be a defense player of the year? He's right there. I mean, he's, in my opinion, top 5, maybe even top 3 after this year if he continues to dominate. But we don't know yet exactly. Because I mean, he just got help now, so that's going to help him hopefully get some, at least not get double teamed. He can go on his own and get a little bit more numbers, but we'll see. I don't know.
Yeah, I think I don't agree with the take, but I do like that as a hot take. I'm gonna rate it as a 4 out of 5 because I don't think he's gonna be able to compete with the likes of Miles Garrett, uh, Michael Parsons, T.J. Watt, and even Will Anderson. Stay tuned to that though.
So, I mean, he's in that position where it is very tough to be the best one in that position. Excuse me. And so I think I mean, he's going to get better. It's just a matter of when he's going to explode on the scene. I think he's right there, but I think this year he takes it to a whole new level and wins the defense player of the year. But he's in a very tough group.
They're very, very stacked. Because if
Okay, so we give it. So far, his first one was Falcons win the AFC or NFC South. Mine was Max Crosby. We did a 3 out of 5 and 4 out of 5. So far, good ones. I really like.
so let's go to my next one. My next hot take is a little bit of a wild take, I'd say, but I think this will be the perfect time to do it. I think this will be Mike Tomlin's final year in the NFL. I think this is his time to retire, and he's going to retire by never finishing with a record below 500. I think it's his time. I think he's been in the league long enough. He has nothing left to prove. Uh, I think it's time for it to happen.
I give that a 5, and only because he just signed an extension, and I don't think to see him back out. I mean, he's still fairly young. Yeah, he might not have a lot to prove, but he's still really good. And I think it's just crazy saying he's going to be gone and he's not going to coach. I mean, he just has, I mean, he's the only coach. I think he's the only active coach, if I'm not mistaken, who has never gone under 500 as a head coach. I mean, he's unbelievable. I mean, he's a legend head coach. I mean,
I think he is the second best coach in the NFL behind only Andy Reid.
oh, absolutely, 100%. I mean,
Yeah,
but I say that's a 5 because I just don't see it happening. Maybe next year, but I mean, they got to really drastically improve. I mean, I think Steelers fans have been chomping at the bit to be better
yeah.
because the quarterback play now they add in Russell Wilson, Justin Fields. It might be better, but we don't know yet.
Russell Wilson and Justin Fields are definitely a step up over
Oh,
Kenny Pickett,
Mason Rudolph.
Rudolph, those guys. They're definitely a step up. I think they're both not good players, but I think that it's definitely a step up. Mike Tomlin, hell of a coach. I do not see him ever finishing below 500.
Oh, I don't either. I mean, he's allergic to it. So I mean, it's just crazy. Okay, so I give that a 5. I just don't. I think that's crazy. I just don't ever see that happening. I mean, it may be a couple years, but now, no way. I mean, he'll be crazy, but he signed an extension, and we'll see though.
Yeah.
Number 2 for me, Tua Tagovailoa. Like the guy, I might have butchered his last name, but you know what? I don't care. I don't care.
It's your last name. I'll give him that.
But whatever. I like Tua, but I really think he's gonna be the reason that Dolphins can't win the AFC East. To me, he's just. I mean, he's okay, but he just doesn't excite me when he's on that field. He really does not. And the talent he has now is unreal. If he were to have a subpar quarterback, you know, I think they would be better. I just think Tua doesn't excite me enough to get him over that hump. I mean, they had a collapse last season, and I couldn't even look at my book right here how bad they did at the end. I brought a book so I can be prepared on some stuff. Not always, but whatever. So last year they went 11-6, and they lost to Tennessee, then they lost to the Jet, or they won against the Jets in Dallas, then Baltimore, Buffalo. I just think, you know, I mean, he had 29 touchdowns to 14 interceptions. I just don't think he brings you that win value. And then now they lost Kansas City, and that was really cold environment, and Kansas City's used to that, and Dolphins are not. But to me, with this kind of offense, Brandon Odell, I mean, still having a decent line. two really good running backs. I mean, unbelievable. I just don't think Tua is the guy. And I hate saying that, and I don't mean to upset Dolphins fans. I just don't seeing him be that player that he should be.
Yeah. I will give that a 4 out of 5 again, just because I think Tua is good enough to lead into the playoffs. I think with having Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, I see Odell Beckham. I'm he's like hurt all the time. I think he's already hurt. I just I don't see them not making the playoffs. I don't. I think Tua will be the kind of quarterback that will hold them back from winning the Super Bowl, kind of like how Dak Prescott is for the Cowboys. I think both of those are kind of similar quarterbacks where the good regular season quarterbacks, good enough to get you to the playoffs, not good enough to lead you to the promised land.
Well, to me, I think honestly, I'd rather have Tua than Dak.
I think we'll do.
I think Tua can win a playoff game, but I just don't see them being far. And maybe that's how I want to word that instead of not winning the AFC East, because they can win the AFC East. They're in a division where the Bills are a little struggling. The Jets, who knows how they're going to be with Aaron Rodgers coming back. I mean, I think they'll be good.
Yeah.
I do. But I mean, and then the Patriots are the Patriots right now. They still got to rebuild the phase, and they're going to do it the right way and hopefully get it done one day. But we'll see. But I just, and maybe that's, like I said, how I should word it. They just don't see it. I don't see a deep playoff run with two as your quarterback. I just don't. I mean, with all that talent, he should take them. I mean, you have that downfield speed.
Yeah.
Those teams kill for that speed.
Yeah, two of the Packers guys.
And if they got the route run in good hands,
Yeah.
I mean, they should be easily blowing people away because that speed is just, yeah. But I just, and that's how I should have worded it. So, all right, we'll go to Nick's third one.
Go ahead. Third one, I kind of hinted at it earlier, but I think Will Anderson in his second year in the league will win Defensive Player of the Year. I think that dude is a monster. I He has good guys around him on defense where I think he's going to create such a rush to the quarterback. I think he's going to win Defensive Player of the Year. Even though he is going up against the stacked defensive line, kind of what we talked about earlier with Miles Garrett, T.J. Watt, Michael Parsons. Um, but I think that this is his year. He's going to do it.
I mean, I give it a 3 out of 5. I don't love it, but I don't hate it. I think he's good, and I think he's going to keep taking steps forward to be really good. I just, with the three, I think that's what I said, a three.
But yeah,
Yeah, I think that's where in the fall of Max Crosby, when I had him winning it, he's in a stacked group. And you never know, maybe there's another defense player, defensive backer, linebacker who could come out of the scenes and just absolutely destroy this year and take it away from those good pass rushers.
yeah.
But I just think, it, like I said, I don't love it. I don't hate it. I think he's really good. And I think he's going to continue to get better. If I don't think he's going to win it, but I think he's going to. I think he's going to get better, and I think one day he will win it early in his career. I think he's on the cusp too of being really good. So we'll see. I don't know. I mean, it's just it's so hard. I mean, when it's just you just never know. Anybody can emerge as being balling out, and they could be right there.
There's that group right there. There we go against.
So disclaimer: Nick's not gonna like my third one, and this might be a rage scene happening, but he needs to hear me out. Bryce Young will take a step forward, become better, but still have a ways to go. The only reason I say, I think, adding Deontay Johnson and Xavier Legette is going to help him. They dressed a little bit on the line. I think the Panthers aren't there. They're not there quite yet. I think, losing Brian Burns hurt them. I think they should have got more out of that. No way, a second round pick. To me, you're having a generational pass rush, a pass rusher is the correct term I should have used. Um, and they got a second round pick. To me, they should have asked for a first round pick. I mean, when the Raiders traded Khalil Mack, they got 2 first round. Now, at the time, Khalil Mack is probably better than what Brian Burns was, but still a bad trade. But I think, Bryce Young is going to get better. I mean, I know people are so low on him for being short, whatever it may be. And yes, he is short, but I think he could be better in the longer run. And I think people need to give him a shot and understand. He's just And I think their owner is horrible. I mean, he doesn't. I mean, I don't think he should be an owner at all, and that has nothing to do with it. But now they got a good head coach, I think, who's young, who can help him. And I think the league is going to drive towards drafting a young quarterback with a young head coach who should be an offensive minded and helping their quarterback succeed. It's a quarterback driven league. I mean, you look at all these quarterbacks who are young and succeeding in their offense
Yeah.
and doing good things beyond the regular season. I mean, Mahomes got 3 Super Bowls. Now, his coach is not young compared to some of these guys, but they drafted young and they're developing him and they're giving him talent around him. And Mahomes has been unbelievable. Allen's been really good. Herbert hopefully is getting better, but I mean, you got to give Bryce Young the benefit of the doubt for what he was dealt with last year. And I think this year, adding a couple more weapons is going to help him really take it to a little bit better step. I think he's going to improve drastically, but his team is still a very much of abysmal. Is an understatement.
I'm gonna put that at 5 out of 5.
Wow. Okay.
I'm gonna put it at 5 out of 5 because I think no. I mean, they got better weapons than they did last year. I mean, adding Deontay Johnson was a good step in the right direction. I think my problem with Bryce Young is that he is too short and he's not quick enough. Like he has decent speed, don't get me wrong, but he is not like Kyler Murray is that short, but he has the quickness, he has the shiftiness that Bryce Young does not have. And I think, and also he does not have the arm strength that Kyler Murray has. I think that I think he will be better than he was last year, but I don't think I can see him taking a huge step. I think in the long run, he's just not going to be an elite quarterback like he was drafted to be. I don't think I don't think he's going to be a terrible quarterback in the NFL. I think he has the potential to be like an average QB future backup in this league. That's how I feel about Bryce Young.
So we got 5 out of 5 for that one. And I mean, like I said, these are just hot takes, and if people don't like him, they don't like him. If people like him, they like him.
Yes.
It's not we're either right or wrong. You just agree or you disagree. That's what it is. But I think Bryce Young is going to get better. But I think his team has got to get better
Yeah.
around him. They have to play better. I mean, so the three wide receivers they have is Adam Thielen, Deontay Johnson, and he is old. But he had over 1,000 yards last year, and that was his really main target. They got Terrence Marshall and they got Leggett.
Yeah.
Now Terrence Marshall, I don't know. I'm hoping he can take a step forward, but we'll see. I mean, I just think he's gonna get better, but they're still got to play consistent. But we'll see. He's still playing in a weaker division, but that doesn't give him a pass. He's got to play better. Absolutely.
All right. Well, my next one might be it's not that wild to take, but it's a little crazy. I think Caleb Williams will be top 5 in passing yards as a rookie. I think they traded for Keenan Allen in the offseason. They drafted my boy Rome Odunze, dog, and they also got DJ Moore already. That is a stacked receiver core, and also they have Cole Kmet. I think that receiver core and that his weapons that he is going to be really good his rookie year. And when he got drafted out of college, I was a little bit down on him than most people were. But seeing into the situation that he was drafted into, I think if Justin Fields was drafted in that kind of situation, that he would still be a Bear. But I think that he is going to be top 5 in passing yards, and I think that he is going to easily win rookie of the year, offensive rookie of the year. My bad.
I mean, I loved where you said he could be top 5 pass yards, but offense rookie of the year, that is tough. I think he plays in a tougher division, so he's got to be really good. He's got to be really, I mean, getting the passing yards. But I love his targets. I give it 2 out of 5. Um, but I do think the targets he acquired is unreal. I mean, to me, now we're Justin Fields' fans. We love Justin Fields. We're Buckeye fans. But I think, unfortunately, what they did to Fields, I thought was the wrong way to do it. I thought Fields could have improved, but I think with Caleb Williams coming on board and what they did for him, they set him right in place. If he can't excel in that offense right now, I don't know. I mean, I know we're saying he's a rookie and he should go in there and be good right away, and that's a lot for a rookie. But I think he has every capability of doing it. I mean, what dream scenario do you want? It's like Patrick Mahomes. He's sad a year, but he got the dream scenario. Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelsey, and he got other weapons. I can't think of right on the top of my head when he first got drafted, but he had great weapons, and he was going to excel. And he had a great head coach. Now I don't know if the Bears head coach is the right head coach, but I mean defensive minded. But I mean, if their offensive coordinator can work with him and develop him, this guy's the limit for Caleb Williams. I mean, he made an amazing play in preseason this past weekend. He was
Yeah,
really good. You know, I think it's gonna be good for the Bears. I think they'll do a really good job uh, developing Caleb Williams because they were really, I mean, they've made sure they really wanted him, and he has every capability of being good. I mean, he has no excuse why he can't be good in this offense. It's a dream scenario. The line's getting a little bit better. Hopefully, stays healthy. Keenan Allen stays healthy. Cook bet. I bet all of them will stay healthy, and he's going to excel. So I'm going to give it 2 out of 5 because you did say he'll run easily offense rookie of the year because there's just so many good offense pieces that came out. We just don't know yet.
yeah, he's going up against a pretty stacked group, and Martin Harrison, also my boy, Roma Dunze. Even though he'll be getting thrown the ball by Caleb Williams, I might take some stock out of him. But and also my other boy, Blake Neighbors, who I think is going to go off.
My boy, Brock Bowers.
Brock Bowers, yes, he's a dog as well. But tight end, might be tough for him to win it. But he has the talent, all the talent in the world to win it, though.
Oh, he does. Absolutely. So I give that 2 out of 5. That's just my, uh, like I said, we can disagree, and that's nothing wrong with that. Okay, my fourth one. This one's huge, but I really thought about it, and I'll explain more as we go along. I mean, some of these are given like, yeah, I could see this happening, but some that's like, maybe not. Six, yeah, not one, not two, not three, not four, not five, but six head coaches will be fired this year. And I'll give you the coaches. Dennis Allen from the Saints. I think the Saints are just prone to be not good this year. And I love Derek Carr. He meant a lot to me when he was with the Raiders. But I just, I don't know. I just have a feeling they're lacking a little bit, and I just think their offensive line is not good. Their defense is okay. I mean, they brought in Willie Gay, but I mean, I don't think their team is going to be good enough to get them over that hump. And I hate saying it because I love Derek Carr and I don't like Dennis Allen, and I'm just saying I don't. Todd Bowles for the Buccaneers. I think the Buccaneers will struggle a little bit. I mean, I love what kind of offense they have, like with Baker and Chris Godwin and Mike Evans, but I don't know if they're quite there yet. And I think, they gave him another shot. I love that because I love Todd Bowles. I really do. And I think what they did to the Chiefs in that Super Bowl was awesome because I hate the Chiefs. But they did a really good job, and I'm glad they gave him a shot because he deserved it. I mean, he got a bad rep when he was at the Jets. He was in a dumpster of an organization. But I think he's just not, I don't know. To me, he's more of an assistant head coach, defensive coordinator because he was just unbelievable at that position. But nothing against him personally. I really like him. Next one is Brian Dable, the Giants. I don't see the Giants being as good. I think they're. I think what's holding them back, and we both could probably agree, is Daniel Jones. At that time when you gave Daniel Jones an extension, but not Barkley, is beyond me. And I know running backs are very hard to come by because of the injuries. Um, but I mean, I just think Dable, Dable's terrible. I think he's just terrible. I think he was. I think they rushed him to be a head coach. I mean, they did good their first year and they got lucky, but I don't see it. I really don't see their team being good. I think they got a ways to go, and Daniel Jones just doesn't excite me. He had 2 interceptions this past week in preseason. He's not. I just don't think he's NFL material. And maybe he'll prove me wrong and ball out and get 3,000 yards. But that's tough.
Yeah, it was just preseason though, but I will say though that his stat line was awful. Like it was. I don't have it up on me up on my phone right now, but it was awful.
I could pull that up for real quick for us. But yeah, I just don't think I think he lacks a lot for this team. I really do. So let's go to the Giants. Let's see how we get. And it's preseason. We get it, and we understand that. But that determines a lot. I mean, you're playing in the preseason. You should, if you're the starting quarterback, and they're paying all this money, you should prove that you're worth every penny. And he has not proved it. He 11 for 18 with 138 yards passing, 2 interceptions. I mean, he just doesn't excite me, and I wonder how much he's making. I mean, I could always find that out later, but he's probably making over 30 million plus, and he just does not excite me. He's just not there.
No,
So the other coaches I got Mike McCarthy of the Cowboys. I think it's a long time coming. They don't do anything. They were so fun to watch with Dak and CD Lamb. I really liked what I saw out of them, but to me, they're not getting over the hump. And what are you going to do? Tell Dak take a hike, and you're going to tell CD take a hike, and other guys take a hike? No, it's got to be on the head coach. I mean, they should be ready to go. To me, honestly, they should have went at home when they played the Packers last year in the playoffs, the wild card round, and went in there and dominated. They dominated with the CD Lamb and Dak Prescott connection. Now they're lacking some other areas, but they shouldn't. They should have went in there and won. They were home field advantage, and Mike McCarthy just doesn't do it for me. And their owner is just horrible.
his comments about CD, saying he's not really too worried about extending him. Yeah, well,
You're losing your best player.
yeah, have fun. Wishing that you would have paid him when he's balling out for another team.
Yeah, I hate seeing that for Dak because I have respect for Dak, but he did. This is what's going to happen. I mean, I don't agree with them holding out and saying I'm not going to play if you're not going to pay me. I don't agree with that at all. I mean, you should play. You're still getting paid at the end of the day, and then they'll work on an extension. But to me, it, I think Mike McCarthy should be fired. Two more. These two are big, and I'll explain a little bit. I mean, and maybe one, I'll take it out. I'll just say five head coaches because now looking at this is kind of ridiculous. I'll just wait on the fifth one, or I'll wait on this one because I'll wait to see how the season goes. But this one is the biggest one of them all, and I think it's going to be Sean McDermott of the Buffalo Bills.
Like, wow, that is wild. What is wrong with you? They're the winning NFC East, and it's not going to be even close. Well,
Okay. To me, what happened with the addition of Josh Allen, and they had Stephon Diggs, Gabe Davis. Now, Gabe Davis is inconsistent. I totally get that. I love the signing though, the Jags sign. I do. But to me, I just think if they don't do anything in playoffs with that kind of talent and Allen, it's going to waste. What are you doing? I mean, and then they gave up their whole team, and it's just not going to be easy year for them. They don't have a big time number one weapon. I mean, they brought in Curtis Samuel on a 3-year deal. Keon Coleman, they drafted out of the first round. What are you doing? You traded with the Chiefs to get, and they took Xavier Worthy, and you gave your rival in the playoffs the fastest guy on that draft class. I don't know. To me, I just don't think the Bills with Sean McDermott there, it just excites me anymore. I feel like it's the same year, the same thing every year. Now, I would say, I feel bad for them a couple years ago when they lost to the Chiefs because they should have fixed the overtime rules. Everybody should get a shot to win, and they didn't get that shot. But to me, yeah, I just don't see. I see Sean McDermott get fired. They need to go a different direction, in my opinion. If they win the AFC East, hey, good for them. But the problem is they just don't. I don't know. It just frustrates me seeing the talent Josh Allen is one of the most talented in the NFL, if not the most talented, and it's going to waste every year. Every year it's gone. I mean, but now they traded their offensive line. The weapons are not the same, and their defense. I mean, their defense has got some good pieces. I mean, I can't understand why they gave Von Miller the deal they did. That was unreal. That was dumb.
it was a very, very dumb move. Was putting at his age, but I must say though, it's
What,
easily a 5 out of 5
on the hot take for all of them?
for that take for the Bills of firing Sean McDermott. Yes, that's a 5 out of 5, 6 out of 5. I don't did not see any. Even if they let's just say hypothetically they go 10-7. This is 10-7, okay?
Okay.
And they either squeak into the playoffs or just miss it. They're still not firing Sean McDermott. Now, it's let's say hypothetically it's that. Then the very next year, same kind of year, don't really get much better. Then maybe they'll consider it. But I think he's too good of a coach. John Allen still the weapons are not what they were, but I am very high on Keon Coleman. I think he's going to be really good for him. I wouldn't have drafted him that early, but I think he's going to be a really good weapon for the Bills offense. Losing Stephon Diggs sucks. I know that, but I do not. I still think they're going to make the playoffs and win the AFC East. I just don't see that being a real possibility of them firing Sean McDermott.
I just think, to me, they're just not getting over that hump. I mean, I want them to get over that hump, but will they? I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, they're in a stacked AFC. Don't get me wrong. I mean, because the Dolphins can make a move or can make some noise. The Jets can make some noise. You're not seeing the Patriots make some noise, but the AFC is getting better. I mean, the Ravens got better a little bit this offseason. The Browns are still going to be really good. The Bengals are still really good. And then don't get me started on the Texans. Holy cow. They're going to be really, really, really good. So I think I don't know. I just feel like they're going to go in the playoffs, and I feel like if they face someone who's really good, they're going to get blown out. And maybe and I love that we could do hot takes and it could be wild. And that to me is my wild one. The other guy I had on the list was Mike McDaniel from the Dolphins. I don't know if that quite yet. It just all depends on how they feel. I think he should get another chance, but I just feel like I don't know. It's hard to say. I mean, we'll be surprised. You always watch the NFL season and then obviously you turn around and someone's gone. Like to me, Pete Carroll, when he's gone, that kind of surprised me a little bit.
That surprised me a big time, yeah.
Yeah. And Bill Belichick, that kind of knew it was coming, but you always get surprised by the NFL. So,
Yeah.
but what about the rest of the positions?
Um,
Besides, if you had to throw Sean McDermott out, what do you think?
I just
Because the other ones I had was Dennis Allen, Todd Bowles.
okay, I agree. I agree with me. Uh, the only wild one was Sean McDermott. I agree with everything else. So you were about to be a 1 out of 5.
And then so was Sean McDermott.
Then you said Sean McDermott. Then you did not immediately put it at 5 out of 5. Because I think I agree with the other one. I think Robert Daniel gone, Dennis Allen gone, Todd Boyle gone.
Well, you believe you're with Mike McDaniel now? Mike McCarthy.
McCarthy, that's my bad. Uh, Mike McCarthy gone. Todd Boyle's gone. I agree with all those. Then you said Sean McDermott, and I thought you were crazy. But that's just my opinion.
We don't know what the NFL.
We can
You
tell
never know.
unpredictable. Unpredictable.
It is, but I love it.
Yes, that's why we love the NFL, how unpredictable it is.
So right now we're gonna go to our fifth one. Um, so we'll let you start on that one.
Okay, you might call me biased. It's all right.
Hey, but you know what? You have to be biased. I was biased in the first one.
You were, but you're a little bit as wild, I'd say. But we'll see what you think, though. David Njoku leads all tight ends in receiving yards. I think that I think the tight because with the Kevin Stefanski offense, he is built on the tight ends. He had a breakout year last year. He had a breakout year the year before as well until he got hurt. And then it kind of set him back a little bit. But I think he's going to take another step forward. And with Deshaun Watson will be completely healthy, who loves his tight ends. I think he's going to have another breakout season. He's going to have over 1,000 yards. He's going to even lead all tight ends in touchdowns as well. And I think he's gonna have that kind of season, and I'm ready for that.
Do you realize Travis Kelce's still in the league? Do you
Yeah,
realize Travis Kelce, the best tight end probably of all time, could be by the all said and done?
wow.
What do you mean it's wild? He's won 3 Super Bowls. He's consistently been healthy. I mean, Robert Gronkowski and Tony Gonzalez, I get, are freaking athletes, freaking machines.
Yeah.
And I also think Jason Wynns up there. But you realize at the end of the day, Travis Kelce could be the best tight end. I think he will be.
He is in that
How can you
conversation
say Njoku is going to beat him?
because
You're not uncertain. I mean, I love Deshaun Watson's play. I mean, I think he's really good. But he's got Mahomes.
but I mean, I think, with the whole Taylor Swift thing, I think that eventually they're gonna split apart. And
I, I,
okay, I'm joking about that, but
the hate she gets is unreal. I don't think she deserves the hate. Go on.
she's not deserve the hate. No, she's a very talented singer.
Oh,
I like her a lot, but what I,
the NFL needs to keep away from her. Just let her enjoy the game.
yeah,
Stop putting her on attention. She probably doesn't want all that. Wants to enjoy herself at a game. Who
yeah,
cares?
yes. And but these are the NFL loves it. The NFL loves that she's dating Travis Kelce because that's brings in more viewers of different demographic into watching them. But I think I'm a big Travis Kelce fan. I think with his age, he's going to take a tiny bit of a step back.
Oh,
No. Not a big step back. I think he's going to take a little bit of a step back. I think the Joker is going to take a huge step forward again, and I think he's going to lead
this is a 10 out of 5 for me.
10 out of 5.
Yes, I think Njoku's great. I think he is. But leading all tight ends, you got to think about who also is a dominant tight end. Um, George Kittle, I think will beat him. But George Kittle's got to stay healthy. That's the one thing I say about him. He's got to stay a little bit healthy. You look at Sam Laporta. I was really skeptical. We were watching the draft last year, and well, we saw with Sam Laporta, and the Raiders traded up for Michael Mayer, and I thought they're crazy for passing on Michael Mayer. Now, Michael Mayer, I think he's going to get better. I really do. I love Michael Mayer. But I think Sam Laporta proved he should have been the maybe, I don't know, maybe not. But at that point in time, but you're crazy to think that Njoku will beat out George Kittle, guys like George Kittle, Travis Kelce. I think Evan Ingram will be a dog. I mean, that's a freaking athlete. Kyle Pitts, if he gets more receptions, but you're crazy to think.
The Joker, that dude
I know he's
is
an
the
athlete.
most athlete of all athletes.
I know he is, but you just don't know the certainty of a quarterback. I feel like Mahomes every year is just going to stay healthy. I mean, eventually he's going to have minor injury or whatever it may be. And you're crazy if you think Njoku is going to lead all the Titans in that. There's Travis Kelce. Travis Kelce is I think, top 3 best tight end of all time. By the end of it, he'll be number 1. Mark my words.
I agree with
And I hate saying that.
that.
I get the age, but that doesn't matter. Tony Gonzalez was on a tear late in his career too with the Falcons.
So I still think that with Njoku, he's going to be targeted so much more this year. I think with Deshaun Watson, that's going to be um his main target is going to be David Njoku. All right, you gonna?
I'll tell you, people, look at him at number 5. I absolutely hate it. Absolutely hate it.
I'm ready for this.
And you gotta give me a reason. You gotta give me some time to explain myself.
Okay, okay.
You gotta give me some time.
I might stand up for this. We'll see.
You probably walk out of the room, but if you hear me, this team is right there. Lions will win the Super Bowl. It's not terrible because of the fact the offense is still really good. I mean, Goff still playing really good. They got really good weapons. They got rid of Cam Sutton, which adios. I'm glad. They brought in Terry and Arnold. They're right there. They're 1 game away. They had the lead. They were 1 game away from going to that Super Bowl. And I think they would have beat the Chiefs that year. I really do.
Yeah.
I think Lions, this is their year, and Detroit fans deserve this because Detroit fans have been suffering. Now, as a Tigers fan, just watching them has been a dumpster fire sometimes. But we're not talking about baseball, but that's beside the point. Detroit fans have been suffering for a while. The Red Wings have been struggling a little bit. Tiger fans have been struggling since the Obama administration, and that's how many years ago that was. I mean, they haven't been really dominant, the Tigers. It's crazy. So, but the Lions are right there. They're 1 game away. I think the division is their conference is getting better. Is that the right word? Yeah, the NFC or well, no, I'd say the division, either one. But I mean, they're going to play in a tough conference though as a general because the Eagles are going to be still really good. The 49ers, I mean, the usual teams and Packers, I think are getting a little bit better. Are getting a little bit better, and then just we'll see how it goes for them this year. We'll get into that later though. But I think the Lions are right there. They were one game away last year. They had the lead. And if they would have beat the 49ers, how do you stop that? Dan Campbell is a guy you would want on your team. You want to play for him. Those guys fight. You think about where they were his first year till now, it's unbelievable the transition. And they're in prime position to win. I mean, their gap is not, I don't think it's shrinking bad, but they have to win now because the AFC is getting a little bit better. There's still really good teams out there, but the conference as a whole in NFC is tough. But I think you have to do it now. Now, here's where I say they need to hope what is gonna happen. Jameson Williams needs to stay healthy and he needs to stop being a ding dong and he needs just to play better. I mean, well, he is. I mean, because then he gets suspended for gambling.
Yeah, I like the term.
Well, we got to keep it nice.
Yeah, I don't want to get demonetized. I'll use you guys are perfect. Don't ever demonetize us.
Uh, please. Well, no. So I think the Lions are right there. They're one game away. They were one game away last year. I think they're going to be really good. And they got two really good running backs. I mean, they're right there. I think they're going to win the Super Bowl, and they deserve it this year.
So I thought when you gave a huge introduction that I was going to walk out of the room and might slam the door in your face. But I actually don't. I disagree with the take, but I actually I'm not gonna say what I have them because I'm gonna do that in the next video. I don't have them winning the Super Bowl though, but I haven't making it far. Um, and I think the quarter. I mean, I think Jared Goff. I really like Jared Goff. But I do not think he's a guy who's going to be able to lead them to a Super Bowl. I think he's good enough to take them far, but I don't think he's a big guy who can win them. And at this point in his career, so I think that I'm gonna give it a 3 out of 5. I'm middle, you know.
So you love it, but you don't. You love it.
I like
You
it, but
love it, but you don't hate it.
yeah, I'll say I like it, but I don't hate it.
It's gutsy like Dan Campbell. I mean, Dan Campbell is just a very gutsy guy. I mean, he wants the best out of those guys,
Yeah,
and they deliver.
yeah, and with Dan Campbell, like he's a really good coach. He gets the most out of his players. I'm a big Dan Campbell guy. I know Alex here is a huge Dan Campbell guy, and I think he's the guy who can lead them to the promised land. I think he's a great coach. He gets too aggressive at times, which can be good at spots, but
In the regular season, it's really good because you want to. Yeah, it's not risking a ton. But the playoffs, he needs to control it. And I think last year he tried to do that against the 49ers and kind of hurt them. Well, I think, you can't deny he's an awesome guy. Now, disclaimer, when he got hired, I didn't think that was a great hire. I didn't know much about him. But then when you hear his press conference, when he said, I'm going to bite you in the kneecaps or whatever it was, he's just got that energy about him that really got the most out of his players. He was dealt with a bad hand at first, but over time, they got better. I mean, they're right there. And I just think this is the year they really are going to put it all together. And they got their offensive coordinator back in Ben Johnson, who should I thought he was going to be a head coach. I really did, but hey, good for him if he wants to stay with the Lions. More power to him. Yes. And then Anthony Glenn. Is that right? Let me see. Short intermission.
but I do like your
Aaron Glenn. Aaron Glenn's a really good defense. I mean, they don't have crazy superstars on defense. They got some good ones, really good ones, but they don't have like Max Crosby or a Chris Jones but they got some really good defense pieces. But I mean, they're right there. I mean, they really, I just think are right on the verge, and I think they're going to put it together, do really good in the playoffs, and they're going to get to that Super Bowl, and they're going to win.
that, and that is the end of our hot takes.
Yeah, I mean,
Very great video. Uh, about 45 or so minutes, and now I'll say though that our record prediction video is since this was about 45 minutes, I think that's gonna be over an hour, and which we are so excited to do. And
Absolutely.
yeah, and I think yeah, like I said in our past video that we want to do this once a week, and I think this is now there'll be 4 videos this week, but after that,
It's once a week. Unless something drastic happens,
yeah,
and we feel like we really need to talk about it, we'll do it. But I
yeah,
think we're gonna try to shoot to the YouTube Shorts if something like an injury or a trade we could talk about a little bit,
yeah,
or one of us could do the video. It just all depends. I mean, but like I said, full-time jobs, it's kind of hard to get that
yeah.
accounted for. It's not gonna be easy. So
No. But please like and subscribe, tell your friends, tell your family, because we're going to be on the come up. So please, like, just tell everybody you know about this, and
we're just having fun with this. We want to
yeah,
have people enjoy it. We're not trying to make people hate us or anything. We just want to enjoy this.
yes, and also comment down below of your hot takes, and we will see you in the next one.
Thank you.
Bye.